Hey everyone, it's Mera Mangle.
And Chasity Valentino.
And welcome to another Mangled morning. Woo! Chasity Valentino, welcome back. It's been a minute. Since the finale, right?
Yeah, I haven't been back since the finale. Been in recovery.
Right. You got your breasts done.
Yes,
They're still healing up.
They're healing up.
Still under construction.
Yes, they are still under construction. They're settling in nicely. They're a little over 2 weeks old, so we're back in motion again.
The girls are not settling in nicely on All Stars 10. That was a good transition.
Oh, that was.
Pink Group has started. Bracket 2 has begun. And it kicked off with just reading each other right away.
Came in catty.
Right. Like the second Mistress went up to Tina, she said, "Rainbow wig?"
Girl.
And I mean, it went from there. We're going to get into all that, the design challenge. I would say, somewhat, depending on who you are, I don't want to speak for everyone, but I would say pretty controversial top 2. Decisions made by the judges and stuff like that. We'll get into all that. And I want to get your opinion on, the bracket that happened since you've been gone. Before we get started with all that, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like the video, and join the Patreon where you can see all kinds of additional content you can't see on YouTube. Plus, you're helping support the channel. You got to be careful doing that right now.
Okay.
Can't be violent with them. Now, you can also support the channel by tipping on Venmo or Cash App. Like, is that Lizzie, but with S's? Is that?
Yeah, that's what I'm getting.
Lizzie G. She said, "Long-time watcher, first-time tipper. You've been a constant joy to watch over the years. I just noticed somehow YouTube unsubscribed me." That was a hard word. Unsubscribed.
Unsubscribed me.
I hope that's not happening to others. I wonder if Lizzie didn't realize it was the new channel, because that's something that I've heard a lot, where people think, "Oh, I just somehow got unsubscribed." Unsubscribed.
That word is challenging.
It's the un and the ed at the end. It's like,
you didn't get unsubscribed. We just unalived the old channel.
Right. It's a brand new channel. It's a brand new day.
Can't you feel it?
That's what I was thinking about. Actually, I should acknowledge how kind this message is, too. And I love when we get these, long-time watchers and we're hearing from people from the first time. Now, of course, you can also tip using the YouTube thanks, which we'll go over some of those at the end of the video. And also, I just want to, I guess in that same spirit, take the time to, thank everyone for subscribing. And especially for the folks that have joined the Patreon, because that's how I keep going. That's the only way I'm able to keep this going. So if you have the ability to join, even if you don't want to watch the extra content I have on there, if you want to help keep the channel a-chugging, please feel free to join.
Yes.
What did you think of Bracket 1 and all that? And what do you think of this whole system?
You know what? The format's very interesting.
It is.
It is very interesting. I was kind of sad at certain people that didn't get through, but then to find out that there's still an opportunity for them to somehow come back and lip sync for the crown. And I'm like, okay, what is this twist?
And that means they're going to skip some episodes. When they do come together.
You skip the whole middle section.
I don't like that.
I'm like,
I'd be mad if someone won that didn't.
This is a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot taking place. I really wanted Olivia to go to the semifinal. I just think she looks gorgeous. She looks amazing. She's really turning it out for me.
It's hard because you've got just three challenges.
Yeah.
Which is such a small...
Aja looks so good right now, though.
She does, yeah. She's been killing it.
She looks good.
Let's get into this pink group, because that was the orange group.
Because I got opinions.
They had opinions, too. And it kicked off pretty much the second they entered the workroom. We got to see Tina... It's surprising that this photo has got Tina so heated. Because let's be real. She could have, the caption could have been mean.
Yeah.
All she said was good morning, didn't she? Is that what it said? Good morning, and then a picture of Tina. And it's not like it's doctored. It's a picture of her on a red carpet. She chose to look like that.
She chose that look.
That's how she wanted to look that day for a red carpet. So, I mean, I feel like if anything, Tina's mad at herself. That's how I see it.
Very that.
But I mean, it obviously was meant to be shady.
Boots. Because I would have posted it and been like, mood.
Right.
I do that actually.
What mood is that?
I quite frequently, when I find pictures and I think they're hilarious, I will post them and be like, mood. Shout out to you, Mistress. That was Mistress Isabelle.
Right. Nicole was hilarious the whole episode.
She was. Isabella.
In addition to Mistress making an enemy, she made alliances with the Texas girls.
With everyone.
Pretty much everyone except for Tina.
left Tina out.
Lydia asked to be adopted, and then she literally made alliances with everyone else.
Oh, and then later in the episode, because what I lived for is when she set up the conditions of how she would become her daughter, and then Mistress didn't make it. Oh, I lived.
What were the conditions?
She was like, if me and you are the top two.
Oh, Mistress had to be up there too. Yeah.
And she had not been up. So I can't wait to see how this turns out.
But Lydia won and won the lip sync. Word. So she did her part. That's not her fault.
She did her due diligence.
I feel like Lydia's just default is to flirt.
She gives flirtatious energy, but Tina was giving like, I'm trying to get them jeans.
The way she had her hand up at, like on the wall, it looked like they were in the corner of her bar.
Okay, but what's funny is like, look at this right here. Uh-huh. You're looking, right? Okay.
Lydia looks so confused.
Lydia looks confused, but all those heads have wigs on them right now, right?
Oh, but then later...
yeah. When she knocks them all off, there's not a wig on any of them.
Right. As if we're supposed to believe she took them all off.
I was like,
continuity.
What's happening?
I feel like the early seasons used to do that all the time. And this challenge was interesting. When we heard last week it was going to be the Magic 8 Ball 1, when it's called ball, you assume it's going to be a ball where we have multiple looks. So I was a little disappointed we only got one look.
Yeah, I thought they were going to bring us to a Savory Ball.
But then also you're like, well, what is the theme of Magic 8 Ball? I thought what it was going to be is they were going to turn it over and it was going to have a,
theme,
yeah, for each one of them.
I did too, initially, until they said all the items are inside the 8 ball, which,
there was 8 items in there.
Usually when you get an 8 ball, the items you're looking for are inside. And I thought maybe that's where we were headed for this, which kind of...
Right, because you're like, where are you going? Is this going to be appropriate for... because it's kind of... It can be insensitive,
Yeah, it could be. But... some of them girls look like they did an 8 ball.
I pulled our 8 ball out. Do you want to ask it a question?
Yes. Do you think this second group is as good as we expected?
No.
That was direct. That was direct. No.
And I agree.
Drama-wise, I was entertained.
Thoroughly entertained. Drag-wise, meh.
Well, I think just the sheer fact that we only got to see one look, and we were told it was a ball.
Yeah.
Like, that's just what was disappointing to me.
I also kind of lived for the fact that the girls kept, slightly reading Lydia or, making jabs. Like, girl, are you sure you're ready for this? Like, you just came off your season and so fresh.
When they first got in that workroom, Jorgeous and Kerri were looking at her like, who is this and what's happening?
They got to watch their season, see what they liked and didn't like about themselves, and make correction.
Right.
She hasn't even got to watch her season at this point.
And that was one thing that the other group, for their look challenge, it was the makeover, so they only had to just bring 2 of the same look, essentially. So if they had to do 3, this would actually be the worst group to do that with, because Lydia already has to prepare everything when she just showed everything she had.
But she also said, I made all my runways.
Her attitude is totally just, she's here to do it. She's not
like,
bothered
bitch,
at all.
they gave me this second chance. I'm going to show them that it was not a mistake to pull me from the last season.
We were talking about Nicole being funny, but her little walkthrough with Ru, and the first thing Ru asked her is about the acrylic toenails.
Okay.
And she said, "Your makeup artist." That was so funny to me.
I lived.
The way that she called Ru out, too. Your makeup artist.
Yeah, your girl.
Spread
That's your
rumor.
girl.
I thought most of the walkthroughs, Ru had, laughed at them or had a good connection with them. Of course, Jorgeous. I thought Kerri Colby, the stuff I've been concerned about her being worried about being too pretty, she acknowledged all that. She acknowledged all my concerns in that in the meeting with Ru. So I was like, okay, maybe it won't be like what I thought, of her still struggling with those things.
It's very clear that Jorgeous is Ru's favorite.
Lydia is now, I think she's
Lydia's
the new
creeping
favorite.
up. Lydia's creeping up.
Because also Jorgeous, I have it in there later, but Jorgeous just looked heartbroken that she was not in the top.
Yeah.
She just looked like a little baby pouting. I was worried for Tina, though, because Tina was the one walkthrough with Ru, where Ru just, I feel like we know Ru's face so well.
Yeah.
Where Ru was just everyone else, he genuinely seemed engaged, and he did not genuinely seem engaged for Tina. So I was just worried for her, but it worked out. It did not work out for her as they were getting ready, though.
Oh, my God.
Oh, this was so good.
So it just gave, okay, well, let's clear the air, which...
I don't think anything was ever resolved.
No resolve came from it, but what I didn't get was Tina bringing up, well, you're the one who slid into my...
She never said what it said.
And what? Mistress was like, girl, all I did was try to message you to
say it was just a joke. Or,
it wasn't
like
ill
kiki.
will or like
Right.
it was a kiki. Because the way Tina delivered it, it was like she
As
was
if
trying
there
to
was
get
another
your cookie,
layer.
honey.
Or like, yeah, either like she left it so open-ended that it could have been anything.
And then she was like, girl, you're such a liar. And Mistress was like, I'm a lot of things. A liar is not one of them.
But what's crazy about this fight is that it was a long-ass... Either the fight lasted basically the entire time they were getting ready, because Mistress starts with no makeup on her eyes. And then it's totally done, and she's still yelling at her.
Yeah, like she has her whole eye on, and she's like, girl, just stop talking to me.
So I feel like that shows you that either one, like it just came back up again, or like that just lasted the whole time. Either way, the editing kind of undercuts how long it was.
But also, like, Tina, girl, you wore that wig. You picked it out. You said, today I'm going to be the reading rainbow.
And it wasn't just the wig; it was the makeup and the eyebrows and.
But the wig.
Yeah.
She chose to be the reading rainbow that day, and you got rid.
Why do you want to keep bringing it up?
Let it go.
Because then you're just going to make the picture circulating more now than it ever was. Of
And
course.
she said, "Well, if you don't like it, get it removed off Getty Images."
Right. Like it's not like she took it. It's not like it's something that came from her.
Right.
Obviously they told us that they had to incorporate all 8 items, but then. For each girl's critique, they had to point out all 8 items that they incorporated.
But to me, that was kind of a little ass backwards because they were like, all 8 items need to be visible and we will be watching. But then they made you point them out. So, like, I didn't quite get why we have to point them out if they're supposed to be visible. Because to me, the way they explained it made it seem like we should be able to spot all 8 items without you having to point them out.
Yeah, but I mean also like...
But like the way Mistress did her little purse?
Yeah, I think that's smart. Because like not all the stuff in the thing was cute. Like I wouldn't want to use all 8.
They gave like, I'd say like 5 to 6 things that all went together. And then they gave you like 2 things that were like just so...
stupid.
Out there.
Right.
To see how you incorporated them.
I was actually... You said you were disappointed with the looks. I think... Maybe I'm thinking compared to the makeovers, I felt like I was pleasantly surprised, especially with people like Kerri. Because, I mean, she could not do nothing on her season in terms of design.
Baby,
and I thought she turned it out.
She looked incredible. That's something I want to go get right now.
I thought her and Jorgeous could have been in the top as well. I thought they both did great.
But like Ru said, if you're not in the top, you're in the bottom.
Which is so silly because... Technically, Mistress was in the top 3.
Yeah.
But she's considered bottom 4. I don't like that setup either. I like this tournament thing, and I feel like they're going to do it again because also the ratings are doing so well. Like it's the best since the all winners, which is crazy. But they could tweak it slightly. There's slight tweaks they could make to it.
I had enjoyment from Lydia's look, but I really wasn't like, ooh, like I got it once she was explaining it to me.
And she said in her voiceover, she was like, it's supposed to be ugly.
Yeah, it's supposed to be ugly. This is her, like, I forgot what she said, like her rebel against fashion or something like that. It was something
like anti-fashion.
Yeah. And when she explained it like that, I was like, okay.
I was shocked she was even in the top 3.
Yeah. Because Mistress, baby... turned it.
This happened the makeover week too with Aja, where they were like super harsh on Aja, and then like other girls had big problems, and they just like just bulldozed past those and gave positives to some folks. Like Jorgeous and Kerri, Michelle said the same thing where she was like, "I'm sure there's a lot of hot glue there." Girl, they look stunning.
No
you don't
shade.
know that.
Michelle seemed kind of bitter this episode, like the whole episode.
But then we get to Lydia's full-on 80s costume look.
Yeah.
And we're going to go over the looks, but I mean, you can already kind of see how we feel. It's a mess to me. And then she's just like, she's praising it endlessly. Yeah. Like, it's just revolutionary. Like, girl, what? Other girls, you're like saying, like, I'm sure you hot glue. And then Mistress, also, they were like, well, you always wear that.
I lived whenever she was like, well, we've seen the same silhouette before. And Ru's like, well, I guess if you find a silhouette that works for you, you should use it.
Right, because Ru does it too.
I was like, girl.
Yes, it is a classic Mistress silhouette, but I feel like it's almost too soon to be pushing her outside of that.
It's way too soon to be like, oh, I've seen this before. Well,
she just got there. It's her brand. I will say, though, no question, Tina exceeded expectations and did turn it
Let me tell you something. Tina from the neck down looked so great.
I love that hair, too. The sculpted hair is pretty.
Mm-hmm. I own that hair.
Do you?
Well, I sold it. To my daughter, but I can still wear it when I want to.
The critiques, some people were overpraised, some people were underpraised, and then Tina was just right.
Yeah. Tina, but she did turn that look out. And that sketch when I looked at that sketch, I was like,
Horrible.
what the hell is
Right.
this?
Right. And also, like, that looks like, dog fur. It
Okay.
was just so ugly to me. And I was like, I don't know how she's going to make that work. And she used it appropriately.
She definitely did.
Like I mentioned earlier, like, look at Mistress and Jorgeous kind of pouting. when
Okay.
They don't make it.
They're
Just the saddest little baby. Lydia and Tina were the top two. I really do like Lydia. And all things considered, I feel like if we're looking at this in terms of almost thanking her for the quick turnaround and all that, I feel like it kind of works for that. And I think she absolutely devoured the lip sync. She
ate, baby, she
Hands
burnt
down.
Tina.
She really did. They both had comedy moments, but Lydia's were timed right and Tina's were just off.
I'm
cringy.
still waiting to see, because Tina talked about all these upgrades she's made since her season.
I feel like the looks, well, not during this lip sync, but the look she made and her entrance
the look she made and her entrance look. No, I'm talking about like makeup wise.
But when they were doing those flashbacks, it
It
saw
was
how
bad,
bad it was.
but
it is better.
It's still not good.
She still does too much dark in there. She has tiny eyes. I think that's part of the problem.
Nicole Paige Brooks had on a teaspoon of makeup.
Right.
This little pussycat bob on. Mama, you didn't even think to like attempt to flat iron it before you went out there?
And when Michelle was like, the hair needs to be bigger, Nicole's reaction was like, you had to know. Like, you can't look around and see what everyone else looks like.
But her shape
Crazy.
looked good, and I lived for whenever she was like, yeah, I've been doing drag since 1995, and Lydia's like, oh.
I was born in 01.
I was born in 2001.
Rue called her basically a founding father of Drag Race.
Okay. She was like, we didn't even have this thing figured out when you were on here.
When Phoenix was there for season 3 and was there, with the prior group, Rue was calling her an OG.
Yeah.
So season 3 is OGs. Season 2 is founding fathers.
So season 1 must be like prehistoric.
Right. Jurassic Park realness.
Jurassic Park realness.
The Lost World, because they used to call it the Lost Season. Tina was doing that thing that just drives me nuts, where just focused on Lydia too much too during the lip sync, and Lydia never once wavered and even looked at her, never took her eyes off the
Lydia
judges.
is such a good.
She did it.
She's actually really good when it comes to lip syncing.
She is. She can be funny and sexy.
And the 8-ball theme that it was supposed to be like Studio 54 disco era, like
Rue was jamming out.
Okay, but I do love that song.
I'd never heard that before ever.
Oh, girl, I got it in every
Isn't
old
that
school
crazy?
drag mix I ever had.
I guess I just wasn't at those shows.
You weren't there.
We see in the preview for next week they're going to be doing a Rappin Roast challenge. The little point system is going to go off the rails day one, unlike the other group that kind of played it, nice at first.
Okay, because they were.
Mistress is yelling at Nicole.
Okay, and I'm not sure that I quite understand how they want this point to be given.
They're able to give it to whoever they want.
But they have to decide it as a collective.
No, they do it one by one. So, like the last group, the first time they did this, for the episode 1 points, all the girls that weren't in the top, they exchanged them. So, they basically all gave, they all got 1 point. But then after that, people started judging it based on friendships, mainly. Yeah. And I feel like Mistress is wanting that based on friendships. But I feel like this group, I could see them just doing something different. I mean, maybe they'll judge it, which I think is appropriate, by the critiques and how well they did.
How well you did or did not do.
Because a lot of people, I think, deserve points for this challenge.
Yeah.
Who do you think will do well in the Rappin Roast?
Mistress.
I mean, it's supposed to be shady.
Yeah. Mistress will do well.
Jorgeous always gives girl group energy. And
okay.
I feel like she always just does well in those. I can't remember any of her verses, but she's the best dancer.
I don't know what to expect from Nicole Paige Brooks.
At all. Because she never did something like that. She had to do a stripper challenge.
Okay.
Sell a cherry pie. And then Kerri's kind of a wild card. I could see her doing well.
Could see her doing well. Could see her doing really
but also,
so well.
she was not a dancer on her season. So
dancer you are not.
Lydia, I think she also could do well.
Yeah.
That was the season where, so bizarre that we never got a girl group. So we haven't seen her do it. It's really weird. We normally get like 2-3 girl groups.
It's reminiscent to me, the girl group, like the rap group, whenever it was like Trinity, Bianca.
Oh no, she better don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they brought the
Darian.
They brought the fence back out, which they had for the heavy metal group. I guess it just a fence signifies both genres.
Okay.
But yeah, I love that Lydia's coming in the front runner.
Yeah, go ahead, Lydia.
It's still fierce, even though this particular challenge I wasn't crazy about. I'm still happy for her.
Yeah.
And she's already got $10,000.
$10,000.
I did do a poll prior to the episode airing on my Patreon because I wanted to see like who are the Patreon people featuring, who are the people featuring.
What are we feeling? What are we buying?
Mistress is definitely number one, followed by Lydia.
Oh.
And then I was surprised Jorgeous is after that, but you can see that Lydia and Mistress have by far the most.
Yeah, they cleared it.
And Tina, dead last. I wonder now, now that we've seen her compete and succeed in a challenge, I wonder if this poll would be different, like doing it now versus prior to the episode.
Only one way to find out.
If you want to vote in future polls and also vote on future videos and all that, join the Patreon. Put that in there to promote that.
Again, all the content.
If you want to get mangled, like this shirt that you could get available in the links below. Self-promotion. Let's get into the runways, and up first is Jorgeous.
Bring it to the runway.
I loved this.
I did too. I honestly
thought it was great.
like it looked good on her. It was flattering. She was serving leg like Mama likes to do.
The cut was perfect for her height, and they also brought up that she wasn't wearing hip pads, but the way that she added the little bustle thing, and then the shapes in the front that Michelle was calling out about hot glue. They were also perfect, though. To make her, everything was designed perfectly to make her look taller.
Well, maybe I wouldn't say it was my top.
Oh, no, I wouldn't either. I don't know why I did that.
We picked it up, but we liked it. And it worked well on her. And I really liked her hair.
Yeah. And have you noticed her makeup is, heavier now? Mm-hmm. Up next, Colby. Love this. Also, I put her look that she changed into for the lip sync because that was hot. I felt like that needed to be acknowledged.
Okay, but this look, this old nasty sex cat video vixen mermaid goddess look that's happening right here. Shakira.
I was thinking of Destiny's Child Survivor.
Okay.
But yeah.
Come out of the water.
2025.
Oh.
And her abs were amazing.
Mine too.
I mean, I wish I had abs like that. The bottom is more simple. I think if she did something that at least looked more extravagant at the bottom, she could have been a top. But I still would have had her in the top.
Me too.
And when she was messing around doing all the braiding in the workroom, I was like, girl. But it worked. She turned it out.
I lived. She looks sickening. She's stunning.
She looked expensive. She learned something, clearly.
Okay, she knows what to do this time.
Up next, Lydia Collins.
Gosh, it's just the rebellion against fashion.
The draping is just horrendous. It's bad.
I hated it, every minute of it, until she described it.
I liked it.
I
was happy to hear that at least she was like, yeah, it's supposed to be bad. So I was like, well, that's at least you're self-aware.
You're aware. You did not think that you didn't go out there and think this is the ticket.
She didn't think she was serving fashion.
Yeah.
She knew she was serving camp. And, it is that, I guess. But, I mean, it is a fashion challenge.
She incorporated all the things, and she wore it.
And again, I really like her because she's one of those queens she's the new anointed by the fandom. Mm-hmm. So if you do any negatives towards her, it's seen as you hate her.
Yeah.
That's what they tell me, at least. And I don't. I really like her. But I really hate this look.
I hate the look.
If it wasn't for Nicole Paige Brooks, she would be my bottom.
Agreed. Probably, yeah. And then she turned around and won.
Right. And she really did. I was happy that I was thinking about the lip sync, and I don't know if anyone would have been able to bring the dance and the, energy that she brought.
Yeah.
Up next, Mistress Isabelle Brooks.
And first of all, I love anything animal print, really. I despised it for a long time. Now I'm back into the prints. I really do enjoy them. But Mistress, the corset she made, the purse with the anal beads, and the slicing of the purse, and the sequin fabric that she used to line it, all the way down. It's just so much detail. Also, fun fact, that hair that she has on, you can't even purchase it anywhere anymore. That's old school Wig America hair. They don't even make those anymore. So, it's vintage. You had to have had it at a certain point in time.
Yeah, it did look like pageant hair I've seen here in St. Louis.
I'm sure girls have offered her a pretty penny to buy that hair.
It's very tomorrow morning.
She has hair like that?
Yeah. I really like it. I actually wish there was, the corset that we saw her working on, I think just that color doesn't look great. It doesn't shine bright on the runway, and this darker runway. So I almost wish there was more animal print, or maybe the animal print went into it a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't have any problem with the silhouette or any of the stuff Michelle called out, because everything else, it's perfect.
Yeah.
The shape is amazing.
This episode, I was just kind of like over Michelle. I was like, girl, shut up.
Yeah, I hope they don't keep playing her.
Michelle's giving very Santino.
She's been very, like, maybe saying and doing everything the producers want for the story, because it just don't make no sense sometimes.
Yeah.
Speaking of not making any damn sense, Nicole Paige Brooks from Atlanta, Georgia, looking like she's wearing like a duct tape bathing suit. And poor Susanne Bartsch was there, and for her to try to say that she was inspired by her, that's an insult to her.
And she was like, I was wondering.
And like, you know, we saw they showed the look that she was inspired by. And it's like, so you just did it on the ass, and it's just the saddest thing you've ever seen. It's like the most deflated version of it.
Oh, it's terrible. Oh.
But it's so bad that I won't. I love it because I'll remember it.
Forever.
When she opened those up, I already knew it was going to be bad, you know, before she even showed it to us. But
and that teaspoon of makeup.
And then and then all that, like, knowing you have that, like, wouldn't you pick your, like, most extravagant, sculpted, craziest wig to, like, well, at least all the accessories can be perfect.
At least.
And she came out there in the flattest thing you've ever seen. Next, Tina Burner, and she would be my top. That coat, oh my God, that coat was the piece. Looked so expensive.
She turned this look out now, looking at it. She did somehow miraculously still find a way to end up with the Tina Burner colors.
Right, but at least they're not, like, so literal. Because she used to do the primary versions of all three.
But she looks great right here. The detail and the design and what she did.
That coat looks so expensive.
Yeah. That looks like something I could find on a rack in Neiman's.
Yeah.
Like, it
for real.
It's really sickening. So she did good, and this definitely would be my top.
I do like the stuff she made underneath, but I wish she would have, like, just unzipped the coat and left it on.
Okay, gave us a little twirl with the zip.
Because, you know, the look is kind of more matronly. They called it, you know, Upper East Side or whatever.
It was a matronly type of shoe. Somebody lied to her.
The shoe is actually fierce and sparkly
several times. No, anytime somebody calls it matronly, that's all I can think about.
It's not necessarily like a fresh, fashion-forward take, but the pieces are impeccable, and the coat's amazing.
She looks like a marvelous baked sweet potato.
I don't know if I see sweet potato.
Yeah, because, you know, they cook those sweet potatoes in the gold foil.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of orange.
And then the orange hair.
It's not enough orange for me to be sweet potato.
And then maybe her face is the marshmallow on top.
Now it's time to take a look at our YouTube thanks. Up first, Adele, I think is the name, said, "Your makeup is so soft and gorgeous. Beautiful. Thank you."
It's really soft today.
Right, extra soft. We're real natural today.
Natural, honey. We've got on as much makeup as Nicole Paige Brooks. I need to stop. They probably think I have something against her. I don't.
But I appreciate that. Thank you. Because sometimes, you know, we'll get those comments that will say, like, "Mera, so good to see you," and then "Chloe's beautiful today." I'm like, well, damn. So I appreciate finally getting one that's about my beauty, my excellence.
I mean, they didn't really specify.
You're right, but
what you're gonna
I feel like if you're typing the Mera Mangle, I would hope you don't mean Chloe.
Okay. So you're going to take it as your win right here?
Also, I was wearing my rose thorn look with the headscarf, and I feel like I did look pretty soft. So I'm going to own that.
You own it?
I was the soft one.
Soft and feminine that day?
And then next, Africa America, drag queen from San Francisco. We love her. She came through for us. And she said, "Love the new format of All Stars. Can hardly wait to see how this messy bracket 2 unfolds. It's starting off good with the mess."
Okay.
And then as to Bob's quotes about not being interested in All Stars in the future, remember, she's the master of misdirects. Yeah, that could be true. She could be, like, publicly saying she's not interested in All Stars now, or All Winners, you know, because maybe she's trying to throw us off the scent. There might be All Winners too, but it will be a regular All Stars. Global is not coming back. They're not going to bring that franchise back. It was advertised as a once-in-a-lifetime thing, and I think because of how it all turned out, that's going to stay that way.
It'll just keep it.
I honestly, I think it would be even if they were going to try to use that as the brand, it's going to hurt whatever they try to use that on. Don't use the word global. Use world. First the world or something. Earth. But I would like to see an All Winners too. Would you like to see that with international winners too?
Yeah.
I mean, last time we had a UK winner, but I would like to have more people incorporated.
I'm down.
Well, Let us know. Why did I say it like that? I sounded like a mom. Well,
now.
hope you're doing well. Let us know what you think about everything that occurred on All Stars 10. I have one last thing to say today. Glad you got to see us. Bye.